questions, please let me know. Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
How will we see you if Friday is online?
I will let you know by email every Friday if it is online or not, okay? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Next Friday, probably it will be on campus. It depends if we finish these slides or not. And I think most probably it's gonna be on campus. But I will let you, I will confirm it at the beginning of the week. Can you write your names in the chat box, please? So I can take the attendance. There is a chat box. I will say hi to everyone. So you can reply by giving your names. Thank you, Alma. Marie-Jose, perfect. Rita, Wael, Hiba, Yusuf, Alex, Qasim, perfect. Rida, well received. Haifa, can you write your name, please? Hiba, Peter. Please write your names in the chat box. Peter, I don't think so. Maybe we can finish in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, most probably. Okay. Okay. So عندي Alma is present. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Perfect. Okay, Marie-Jose is present. Rita Merعي present. Wael Nasser.
it's Vael, not Wael.
Sorry. Okay, maybe I don't have your
Wait, let
name
me see.
yet. Okay. I have to update my list. Qasim present, Hiba present. Perfect. Yusuf Al-Haj and Alex. Rida. Okay. Peter, Haifa. Peter, Haifa. Jama. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So first of all, I want to talk about significant figures when you want to report your values in the lab, because as you know, we have 10 experiments in this lab, and in each experiment you have a report to fill. You will be working in groups of 2 or 3. We will divide the group next week when we are on campus, and every group should submit their assignment or their report on Blackboard. Are you familiar with Blackboard?
I know it, but I'm not really familiar with submitting homeworks.
Okay, Blackboard is a website. You can type Blackboard LAU and then you click over here. Once you log in with your LAU email. Okay, I have Lynn. Sorry, خلوني أحط لين معنا.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. You go to your courses, and then in the lab, the section 37, I will post the syllabus and I will open a section to so you can submit your report together, okay? Here you have the link for the Zoom over here, and you have the syllabus. If you click on the syllabus, you can read the grades and how much each exam is worth. For example, أنا حاطهم بس attendance. Let's open the syllabus together. Okay, you can send me an email if you have questions. We can set an office hour so I can answer your questions. And then we have 10 experiments, okay? And we have 2 exams, a midterm and a final. The midterm is 25%, the final exam is 25, and the lab reports are 50. Yani each report is 5 points. And then you have the grade distribution, etc. Of course, you don't have the right to cheat, blah, blah, blah. Please don't copy your reports. Try to be innovative. The reports should be typed. It means that you have to type them on a computer, not handwritten. Is it clear for everyone? So for the lab, it should be typed on a computer. Okay. I think we're ready for the slides. So a significant figure, it means that the numbers are significant. They are important to mention, to report. For example, if I report 589, we have 3 significant figures, okay? We have a problem with the zero. Sometimes the zero is in the middle, sometimes it's on the right, and sometimes it's on the left. If it is in the middle, it is considered as significant. For example, 403, we have 3 significant figures. 90.00, whenever the zero is on the right, okay, if it is not decimal, it's not a significant figure. But as you can see, we have the dot. It means that this is a decimal number, and we have four significant figures. As if you look at the end, 90, okay, منا decimal, ما في point شغلة, so it's one significant figure. Only 9 counts as significant. The zero is not significant. Now, if the zero is on the left, it's not considered as significant. هلا بتقولوا لي لشو significant figures? Actually, you needed to round numbers. يعني مثلا, if I give you 623, okay, and I tell you to round to 2 significant figures, okay, بتقولوا لي 623, is it closer to 620 or 630? You can type your
620.
answer.
620.
Yep. Perfect, yes, correct. So it's closer to 620, so you have to round down. While 629, if my value is 629, I have to round up. It's gonna be 630 rounded to 2 significant figures. مثلا, if I ask you to round to 1 significant figure, 623 rounded to 1 significant figure.
600.
Excellent, 600. Even 629, كمان can, if I want to round it, I have to round it down. Again, it's 600. Is it clear for everyone? هلا, أي متى I am confused if it is 5. لأنه 5, we don't know if we have to round up or down. To be fair, we have to round half the numbers up and half of them down. So at the end, the average will be the same. يعني, what we should do is whenever you have 5, okay, you have to look at the digit before the 5. If it is even, you round down. If it is odd, you round up. For example, 625, I don't know, we have 5. I don't know if I have to round up or down. I look at the digit before the 5, it is even, so I round down. Again, let's do another example. 635, I don't know if I will have to round up or down. So I have to look at the digit before the 5. 3 is odd. Since it's odd, I have to round up. Okay, this way, if you continue the series of problems, you will see that half your numbers are rounded up and the other half is rounded down. and on all, we are fair. We're not always rounding up nor down. Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Let's move on. Now, yes. Assume I have an equipment and I am measuring a certain value, مثلا 2.835 blah blah blah, and the error is mentioned as plus or minus 0.0791. First thing you need to know, you have to round your error on the value measured to one significant figure. يعني أنا هيدا الerror plus or minus something, it should be one significant figure. يعني if I want to round it 791, okay, لازم تصير 08. I have to round up لأنه 79 is closer to 80 than to 70. ما هيك؟ So first thing you need to know, most of the students forget this information. Your error is always rounded to one significant figure. هلا, I have to look at my precision. Where did my digits stop? At that هون التنس وهون الهندرeds. Okay? So I stopped at the hundreds. That's why I have to round my value to the hundreds. يعني I have to stop على ال 83. Okay. 83 بتقولوا لي في 5. Okay. Do I have to round up or down? I look at the digit before the 5. It's 3. So I have to round up because it's odd. This way, my final answer, I have to report it as following. Yeah. So it's 2.84 plus or minus 0.08. What does it mean? It means that your values are the range of my values can be from 2.76 up to 2.92. لأنه 2.84, if I subtract 0.08, I will get 2.76. If I add to 0.08, I will get 2.92. So all these values are accepted. Any value between 2.76 and 2.92 is accepted. هلا, if you report your value as with a lot of decimals and you don't round your error, it's gonna be considered as wrong, okay? Even if you have this as an answer on your machine, you have to report it as, I'm writing it over here. So first of all, I round my error to one significant figure all the time. مش إنه والله مرة هيك مرة هيك. خلاص, all the time you have to remember إنه the error are rounded to one significant figure. Once you do that, you have to stop at the same precision for the value. يعني لو هون, I will give you an example. If the value measured is x equals 5.2731 plus or minus 0.00178. What should I do first? This is my value and this is
we round up the error.
مظبوط. I have to round. Do I have to round it up or down?
Upward 0.002.
Excellent. What is my precision على الهندرد, على tens, hundreds or thousands? What is tens?
100.
Or thousands?
1,000.
100.
Okay. يعني I have to stop 3 digits after the dot. ما هيك؟ يعني 2 is significant, 7 is significant, 3 is significant, 1 is not significant anymore. ما هيك؟ So how should I report my values? بقول x equals 5 point. هلا 31 هي أقرب على 30 ولا على 40؟
30.
Yes, so 73 plus or minus 0.002. Okay. So we always start with the error. We round it to one significant figure. We look at the precision and then we stop at the same precision for the value as well. Okay, so الone ما عاد إلى قيمة. Any question? Okay, perfect.
I have a question.
Yes, sure.
Can the error be like 4? 10,000.
Yeah, sure. يعني مثلا 0.00005.
3. Yeah.
مثلا 5 is 3. So first I have to round
okay.
نشيل ال 3 and then I have to step على 1 2 3 4 5 على إذا بدك 100,000.
Okay.
Okay, بس بكون أكيد ال value عندك كتير precision and then I stop at the fifth digit. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, let's start with the first type of uncertainty of errors. You know that in a lab, we can use analog equipments or digital ones, okay? The analog, where we have graduations, like a thermometer over here on the left, you can see a thermometer with some graduations. As on the left, it's digital. Digital, يعني I read numbers, electronic numbers, just like a calculator or a mobile, okay? هلا, how can I find the uncertainty? مثلا هون, how do I report my values? On the right, we have the degrees Celsius, and on the left, we have graduations for Fahrenheit. نحن we're more familiar with Celsius. So let's go up. The temperature is gonna be هيدا 0. Everything below 0 is negative. Everything above is positive. So 10, 20, 21, 22. طيب plus or minus قديش? So the temperature is 22 plus or minus. What you should do is you read the smallest reading, which is 1 degree. تعرفوا أنتوا كل شحطة صغيرة is 1 degree, and you divide it by 2. This is the formula. So plus or minus, the uncertainty is 0.5. So هون you can say it's 22.0. Okay, so I have the same precision as the uncertainty, and I report my value as 22.0 plus or minus 0.5. So it can be something between 21.5 and 22.5. Yes? Any value between these two are correct. Any questions? Okay. Now, what about digital devices? For example, 36.6. You have to ask yourself, what is the least significant digit? Is it 3, 6, or the 6, the second one? The least significant. Okay.
0.6.
Correct. So you say, and I have to add plus or minus 0.1. So you report your value as 36.6 plus or minus 0.1, the least significant digit. Another example, if I give you مثلا 36.65 or 62, plus or minus قديش؟
0.01.
Correct. ودايما بتحطوا 1, okay? Not another number. So you look at the least significant اللي هو 2, and then you add zeros until you get that digit. Easy, eh? Anything unclear, or do you want me to re-explain something?
I have a small question.
Yeah, sure.
What if this digital device adds up to 0.2? Like the number is always even, 0.4, 0.6, 36.0.
If a digital
0.2.
device can only measure these numbers that you are saying, usually we don't have such digital devices. But إذا I tell you إنه والله it only can read 36.2, so يعني أشياء اللي هن only even. In this case, the uncertainty is gonna be 0.2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. I will give you an example. If I have a beaker and I am reading مثلا الvolume, وعندي هيك كل 50 I can read 50, 100, 150, etc. أول شيء, is it analog or digital? It's a beaker and
Analog.
yes, it's analog لأنه في graduation. What is the uncertainty?
50/2.
Excellent. لأنه the smallest reading is 50. So if I divide it by 2, it's going to be around 25. يعني مثلا assume the liquid is around here. Okay. So I will say it's, let's say it's, what can I read? مثلا هيدي it's 125 plus or minus 25. Okay. Any questions? هلا انتوا in electronics, it will not gonna cover any liquid. Now, assume that I am taking the same experiment with the same conditions, but I'm repeating it many times. Let's assume I'm repeating the same experiment 5 times. Okay, so what should I do? I shall calculate the average on my experiment, and then we will see something called error on the average, which is alpha RMS. Okay. Assume the first measurement was 16. And then I repeated the same experiment, whatever the experiment is. Maybe I'm measuring the voltage, maybe I'm measuring the, I don't know. And the second experiment, it gave me a value of 18. What is the average? تعرفوا انتوا مثل الافريج تبع الجريدز. You just
We add
add
them
them.
and divide by 2.
مظبوط, and then you divide it by the number of how many experiments you did. In this example, we did 2 experiments, 16 with 18, 2 experiments, so you divide by 2. If I have 3 experiments, I divide by 3, etc. Another student, he also did the experiment twice. He got 14 and 20. His average is 17. Assume the correct answer is 17. Which experiment is better? Student 1 or student 2, and how can you tell? مع إنه average is the same, both got 17. Okay, let's call the first.
First one because it's يعني أقرب على 17.
Bravo. Excellent.
The
Excellent.
standard deviation is lesser in the first.
Yes, لأنه you can see the values are closer to 17 over here. Honey, they are spread, no, they are very far away from 17. To describe this, there is something in math called deviation, which is sigma, and we can calculate this deviation. How much my values are close to the average or not. Okay, so let's do that. How can I calculate the standard deviation? You have to follow this formula. What is D? It is the difference between the average and each value. يعني مثلا, assume I am working with the student 2. ما هو قال 14 to 20 and the average is 17. So what is the difference between 14 and 17? 3.
3.
You square it. Plus, what is the second difference between Y2 and Y average? 20 minus 17. Again, it is 3. Right? And you square it. So to calculate the standard deviation, sigma equals radical. The first difference is 14 minus 17 square plus the second difference between the second value and the average is 20 minus 17 square. Over, أكيد لو عندي وحدة ثالثة كنت كمان قلت له plus and I continue. Over, n is the number of experiments. Here I have n equals 2 because I have 2 experiments. Minus 1, so over 1. The final sigma is gonna be 3. If you calculate this formula, you will get something 3. If you calculate sigma for the first student, okay, it's radical. What is the difference between 16 and 17? 1. ما لجلادي اكتب 17 minus 16. Directly I will put 1 because you understood the formula. Plus, what is the difference between 18 and 17? قديش هو بعيد عن الافريج؟
كمان
1.
كمان 1. ما بيهمني إذا plus 1 or minus 1 لأن we have the square so we don't care. Over number of experiments. We have 2 experiments and I am applying this formula, standard deviation formula. Okay? So I have to divide by n minus 1 which is 1. يعني حيطلع لي radical 2 اللي هي 1 point some. Okay? Of course, which sigma is bigger? Of course, for student 2, 3 أكبر من radical. هون كان في radical. 3 square is 9 plus 9 بتطلع radical 18. يعني 3 radical 2. Sorry, I made a mistake. So, and then you compare sigma 1 and sigma 2, بتقولوا لي radical 2 is less than 3 radical. Okay? Any questions? كلنا فهمنا شو يعني average و standard deviation?
Yes.
Yes.
Now we have to find the error. It's very easy. Once you did the standard deviation, مش هي radical sum of di square over n minus 1 ليتوها. So the error is sigma over radical n. In this case, it's gonna be مثلا for student 2, 3 radical 2 over radical 2, and it's gonna be 3. So I have to report my final answer as my average is 17 plus or minus the error, which is 3. Okay. And for the first student, the average is also 17, but plus or minus قديش؟
1.
Bravo.
No, radical 2 over radical 2.
Excellent. Bravo. لأنه الأرر الألفا RMS هي sigma divided by radical n. So radical n is radical 2, يعني كأنه عندي radical 2 over radical 2, which is 1. Perfect. Let's move on. هلا. How should we calculate them? Should we memorize these formulas, or maybe the calculator can do it for us? Okay, you have the solution over here. I will send you the slides after I finish my class. I need to tell you that Zoom.
But sorry, where?
Eh?
Where will you send them?
Okay.
On Blackboard, or?
Okay. Please log into Blackboard. اكتبوا Blackboard LAU. Google it. اكتبوا هيك Blackboard LAU. And then once you go to the website, رح دغري بيطلع لكم بالجوجل LAU Blackboard. You log in with your LAU email أكيد. directly I have you in my class. يعني هلا أنا إذا بأرجيكم I have a list of your names. لهلا حطيت لكم السيلابس and the Zoom link. You click on it to join the meeting. لأنه as you know, on Fridays we have one week, one and the other week, one week that is online and the other week is on campus. Okay. And I will let you know by email which إذا كل week إذا كل Friday هو online ولا on campus. Okay, هلا let's go to Excel. I need you to use Excel for your lab reports, but I will teach you everything, don't worry. هلا I don't know your average in Excel, how much you are familiar with Excel, but Excel is a giant calculator. It's very easy to use. والحلو فيه إنه it's very user friendly. Assume I have my okay, we still have 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the Zoom will stop by itself. Please log in again to the same link, okay? Okay, assume I have the voltage over here and I am measuring the voltage. The theoretical value, I did my calculation, I know it's 6 volts, okay? And then I am measuring it and I got something like 5.9, 6.2, شو بعرفني 5.8, 6.0 and whatever 6.3. How many experiments did I do? Hit 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. هلا if I want to find the average, I double click on the cell. Okay, في يسمي هون average just to remember what I am doing. Then I can write standard deviation and finally the error. شو هودي 3 شغلات اللي احنا تعلمناهم اليوم. So بقلب الإكسل في formula اسمها whenever you want to write a formula in Excel you have to start your formula with an equal and you write the word average. ما حدا يكتب لي مين، اكتبوا average. Okay, بلشت تبين الفانكشن and then you open the parentheses and you select the values you want to calculate their average. طلع معي 6.04. For the standard deviation, the formula is STDEV. You open the parentheses and you select the values. انتبهوا, don't select the average. And finally, to find the error, you click on the standard deviation, okay? And then you divide by radical. You don't have the formula radical, you have something called square root, SQRT. Square root of how many experiments? What is big N in this problem? How many
5.
experiments? 5. So over square root of 5, and you click enter. So my final answer is 6.04 plus or minus 0.09, لأنه I have to round my error to one significant figure. يعني أنا هو 2736, I don't care about them. So this is my final answer. I report this value. 6.04 is the average and the error is 0.09. تقولوا لي ما كتبتي لنا شو هي الستاندرد deviation. Actually, I don't care. I'm only interested in the average and in the error. The standard deviation is only a step to calculate the error. Any questions?
No.
Okay, another exercise. Don't worry, I will put in the slides, I will give you هون في video, you can watch it and you can remember the formulas. So the three formulas are equal average, equal STDEV, and equal, you click on the STDEV, you divide by SQRT and the number of experiments. Okay, another example. Assume my theoretical current is, so هون theoretical voltage, وهلا هون theoretical current. Assume it is 0.2 ampere. And in the experiment, in the first trial, I got something 0.198. 0.182. 0.205. 0.213. Perfect. Yeah. Should I write the formula again, or I can do something with Excel? You can just click on the cell and you can drag to the right. هلا if you double click, you will see the same function. يعني إذا هون average, هون it will be average. And automatically it's gonna select the يعني it will shift all the cells to the right by one. So أنا شفتوني ما عملت شيء. I just selected and I dragged to the right. Again, if I want to, I can select two cells and then drag to the right. The first one is gonna be the standard deviation automatically, don't worry. And this one is gonna be the error. هلا, I can round using Excel. As you can see هون بالنumber, if you click on this box over here, okay, you can see what's happening over there. 57, شو برأيكم رح تصير when I round up? I decrease the decimals.
0.006.
6.
Actually, مظبوط. لحظة. Okay. So هون how many digits do I have? 3. So هون assume إنه أنا ما كان عندي 3, كان عندي أكثر. What should I do? لازم أوقف على 9 ولا على 7؟
7.
Perfect. لازم يكون ذات البريسيجن تبع الأرر. So how do I report my final answer? بقول له 0.197 plus or minus 0.006. And this is my answer. هودي هن الإكسبيرمنت وهيدي هي الأفريج and the error. Okay. هلا sometimes if you do the exam is gonna be on campus, you don't have Excel ويمكن ما نخليكم تفوتوا معكم computer. You have to use a calculator. Here I put the steps. It's not difficult at all, especially when you do it 1, 2, 3 times. if you have, grab your calculator, please, and try to follow these steps, okay? And you will see that you can find the average and the error. If you have your calculator, you can do it now, okay? And try to, مثلا, find the average and standard deviation and the error using these steps on your calculator. If you do have questions about your calculator, please, next week we can do it together on campus, okay? Please bring your calculator with you to the campus. لأنه each one of you have a different calculator. Okay, هلا هون بدي بلش الصعب. Sometimes I am measuring two parameters. يعني مثلا before it was a series of one parameter. يعني مثلا بس temperature أو only شو بعرفني voltage أو only current. But sometimes you do a study where you have two variables and each time you change x, you have a new value for y. يعني you have two parameters. Example, شو بعرفني I and U, current and voltage. Each time I change the current, the voltage would change. In this case, we have to study something called linear regression. Even if these two variables are not linear, I can transform them to become linear. شو يعني؟ مثلا بالphysics, we have a formula called F equals mass times acceleration. Assume I have an equipment to measure experimentally the force F and the mass M, and I will ask you to calculate A. So A is gonna be F divided by M. وانتو, you have a balance to weigh the mass, and you have a force meter to find the force, to measure the force. يعني experimentally you have M and you have F. والقصة إنه every time you change M, the force would change. They are variables. So on the x-axis, if you put M, and if on the y-axis you put F, you will be left with something called لأنه yes yes y هي ال A. Sorry. I made a mistake. ال y هي A والx هي ال M. And I want to find the force F. Every time I change the mass, the acceleration would change. And I do my experiment. I have a series of points. And I can notice, my figure is not linear. It's not a straight line. To make it a straight line, شو لازم أعمل? On the x-axis, I have to put 1 over M. يعني مثلا, assume الماس كانت 1, 2, 3. ساعتها هون I have to find 1 over 3, 1 over 2, 1 on my x-axis. Okay, I have A experimentally. I put my values of A over here. Okay, ساعتها بتصير linear.